If you think Cole Palmer is washed and finished, you're about to be shocked this season. Cole Palmer and Estevan Willian are about to become the biggest game changers for Chelsea under Xabi Alonso, and it's going to be genuinely frightening for the rest of the league. Take a look at this. A manager who won back-to-back Bundesliga titles is bringing a system to Chelsea that could unlock two players in ways nobody's quite seen yet. Need proof? The exact tactical setup that turned one player into one of the most expensive footballers in history is about to be recreated at Stamford Bridge. Still not convinced? Chelsea already have the two perfect players sitting in the building to make it work. What about this? Defenders across the Premier League have no real answer for what's coming. Still don't believe this partnership could shut the league down? Then let's break down exactly how it works. This isn't a small tactical tweak either. It's a genuine philosophical shift in how Chelsea approach the entire pitch. Previous managers have tried to fit Palmer into a variety of different roles depending on the opponent and the personnel available. But Alonso's system demands total commitment to specific positions, and that discipline is exactly what could unlock the best version of this Chelsea front line. What's up, Chelsea fans? Welcome back to the channel. If you're watching from London, from Lagos, or from anywhere else on this planet, drop your country down in the comments. I love seeing this fan base stretch across the globe. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe, smash that like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Let's get into the tactics. Since Xabi Alonso became Chelsea manager, everyone's been asking the same question. What does his football actually look like? At Bayer Leverkusen, Alonso built his title-winning side around a wing-back-heavy 3-4-2-1, with two number 10s operating just behind a lone striker. On the left side of that double 10 role sat Florian Wirtz, the creative genius of the entire system, someone who operated primarily in the left half space, drifting between the lines to slice defenses open with his passing and dribbling. On the right side sat Jonas Hoffmann, more of a tactical space interpreter, occupying the right half space and making intelligent off-the-ball runs into the box while linking up with the overlapping right wing back. Together, they lined up behind a lone striker, either Victor Boniface or Patrick Schick, and combined with the double eights sitting behind them, they formed a genuine box shape through the middle of the pitch that completely dominated central areas against every team they faced. What made this shape so lethal at Leverkusen wasn't just individual quality either, it was the spacing. By keeping both number 10s in those specific half spaces, rather than allowing them to drift freely, Alonso created a genuine box midfield that overloaded the center of the pitch, forcing opposition midfielders into impossible decisions about who to track and who to leave open. Opponents who committed extra bodies centrally left space out wide for the wingbacks to exploit, and opponents who spread out to cover the width left gaping holes through the middle for Wirtz and the double eights to exploit instead. So how does this translate to Chelsea? Cole Palmer can absolutely do the Wirtz job, staying more centrally and acting as that creative genius, operating in the left half space and drifting between the lines to slice teams open. And honestly, Palmer is already a ruthless playmaker even without this specific system fully in place. His vision to pick out a killer pass through the tightest of gaps, combined with genuinely elite finishing from both open play and the penalty spot, already makes him one of the most dangerous attacking players in the entire league. Give him a defined role built specifically around his exact strengths, rather than shuffling him between different positions depending on the opponent, and you're looking at a version of Palmer that could terrorize defenses on a weekly basis. That's not a small distinction either. So much of Palmer's struggles last season stemmed from being shuffled between right wing, false nine, and a deeper playmaking role depending on what Chelsea needed that particular week. Never settling into one specific role made it almost impossible for him to build the kind of rhythm and understanding with teammates that turns individual brilliance into a consistent, season-long threat. Then on the right side of that double 10, Estevan Willian steps in, drifting wide toward the touchline in a way that mirrors exactly what Hoffmann provided at Leverkusen. Last season, Estevão proved beyond doubt that he's a genuinely ruthless dribbler, mesmerizing defenders across the Premier League with his close control and directness. He recorded more successful dribbles per 90 minutes than any other Chelsea player, comfortably ahead of the rest of the squad, and the way the ball seems glued to his foot has already drawn comparisons to Eden Hazard in his prime. His breakout moment came with a dramatic 95th minute winner against Liverpool, calmly turning home a cross at the far post to send Stamford Bridge into delirium, and he went on to become the youngest player in Chelsea's history to score in the Champions League. Weeks later, he scored again against Barcelona to become just the third teenager in history to find the net in each of his first 3 Champions League starts, matching a record previously held only by Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. It's also worth remembering just how young Estevão still is throughout all of this. He only turned 19 during his debut Premier League season, meaning there's genuine reason to believe his best football is still years away, rather than already behind him. Comparisons to Messi and Neymar have followed him since his Palmeiras days, largely thanks to a dribbling style that seems to defy normal footballing logic, closing down defenders and slipping past them almost effortlessly in spaces most wingers simply couldn't escape from. There is also a physical dimension worth mentioning here. Estevão is not the quickest player over long distances, but his acceleration off the mark and his agility in tight areas make him a genuine nightmare during transitions. Exactly the kind of profile that thrives when receiving quick passes from a creator as sharp as Palmer. Picture that combination working in tandem. Palmer pulling strings centrally, picking out the exact pass Estevão needs, while Estevão drifts wide, receives the ball at pace, and either cuts inside onto that magical left foot or drives to the byline to whip in a dangerous cross. Defenders would genuinely have no idea whether to track Palmer's central runs or respect Estevão's directness out wide, and trying to do both at once is exactly the kind of dilemma that broke Bundesliga defenses for 2 consecutive seasons under Alonso. It also helps that both players are still relatively early in their Chelsea careers, meaning there is real scope for their partnership to keep developing and improving across an entire season together, rather than a short-term pairing thrown together out of necessity. Chemistry like this tends to compound over time, and if Alonso gives them consistent minutes together from the very start of the season, the understanding between them could become genuinely frightening by the time the business end of the campaign arrives. So here's my honest opinion. If Alonso commits to this exact structure, Chelsea could end up with the most unpredictable attacking partnership in the entire Premier League. Palmer already has the tools to be Wirtz, and Estevão already has the raw talent to be even more dangerous than Hoffman ever was. Anyone writing Palmer off after a difficult season clearly hasn't considered what happens when you finally give a player of his quality the exact system built to maximize him. It also puts genuine pressure on opposition managers heading into games against Chelsea. Do you set up defensively to try and contain both attackers, sacrificing your own attacking threat, or do you take the risk and try to match Chelsea game for game, knowing one moment of individual brilliance from either Palmer or Estevão could decide the entire match on its own? That kind of uncertainty is exactly what wins football matches at the highest level, and it is precisely the dilemma Alonso specialized in creating throughout his time in Germany. Do you think Palmer and Estevão can genuinely replicate what Wirtz and Hoffman did at Leverkusen? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you're subscribed, drop a like on the video, and turn on those notifications so you catch every update the moment it drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.